me and my companion, we were in Thornton, Colorado. We had set up an appointment with a family. We were so excited because this is gonna be the first time teaching them. We thought we had all these great ideas and ambitions about, they're going to baptize, and we're going to put them on date for baptism, the first lesson, all these things. We were just so excited, but we knew we needed to have a member there. The Spirit just told us that really strongly, and it's always just the best idea to have a member with you when you teach. So we were calling everyone. As it went through the entire phone contacts, none of the members could come. It was 3 o'clock on a weekday, so none of the men could come with us, and we couldn't take a woman because we needed a man to come with us for the appointment. So I'm calling everyone, and no one's answering. I had a meeting with my district leader, and he encourages me to just say a prayer and ask God for help and whom I should call. I thought that was ridiculous at first because it was already calling everyone. What more can I do? But he convinced me to do so, so I did. Said a prayer, just asked God to calm me down and give me the name of who should come with us. Not long after that prayer, a name came to my head of, his name was Aaron. And he just moved into the ward 3 weeks ago. He'd come the first Sunday, and I hadn't seen him since. I got his phone number that first Sunday so he can come by, but he never answered his phone, or whenever I was home, we dropped by. But we called him, and he finally answered. And it was like a miracle right there. So we're super excited. We finally have someone come with us. We know this is the guy that we need to have with us. And then the appointment that we had calls us and cancels. Says they can't make it. And we never ended up teaching them ever again. So we're like heartbroken. Like all this stress and trauma, and nothing came out of it. So we call Aaron and we say, hey, well, they canceled. Can we come teach you instead? He says, sure, come on over. He's a really great guy. He's a convert. He served a mission. Super powerful guy and funny. Turns out his wife was a member of the church. She had never really even investigated the church. So we were able to talk to her, see her interest level. She wanted to learn more, and we were able to teach her. She's one of the most prepared people I've taught. She wanted to read the whole Book of Mormon before she got baptized. And usually that means it's going to take them forever and they're not really going to read. I was really sad. I'm like, oh, you don't have to do that though. You only have to read enough and gain testimony, and then keep reading and keep having that goal of reading it all. But she was dead set, and she set a goal to read it in 3 months, which was really surprising to me. And she did it. She finished ahead, actually, which doesn't happen. And so seeing her change from how she was when I first met her to being baptized and all these things. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be there for her baptism because I was transferred. But hearing about it and talking to her since then, we're friends on Facebook. I just saw a picture of her and her husband taking a selfie in front of the Colorado temple. And that was a huge testimony to me of just the importance of serving a mission and the Holy Ghost in the work. Because God knows who these people are, and he knows who's ready, and he'll lead us to them as long as we're doing what we need to do. Another really cool story, I've told the story 1,006 times. I was again in Thornton, Colorado, and we were trying to help the members do missionary work, help them to fulfill their duty to do that. Went to this one family, and we committed them. We let them choose the day. We said, choose a day by which you'll have someone ready for us to teach, ready to bring to church, ready to whatever. They chose a day. I don't remember what it was, in March or something. And then next Sunday, the next Sunday, they come to church, and they were actually working with another set of missionaries that later got transferred out, so we took over after that. But they tell us, all 4 of us, that they know who they're supposed to invite. They were praying about it. This one daughter in particular, she was a Laurel. She had a very strong prompting to invite this one guy to church and to meet the missionaries. And she was really scared because she'd never really talked to him before. He was just in one of her classes. He's captain of the football team and all these things. So she's super terrified, but we're really encouraging her. Say, you can do this. You got to do this. And she adds him on Facebook at church. We're like, you can do it. And then slowly starts getting to know him a little bit and invites him over to Mutual. Her biggest thing was, I don't want him to think that I'm coming on to him. I don't want him to think that I like him. But they start becoming friends, and she invites him to Mutual, and she invites him to church, and he comes. He's such a great guy. His name's Alejandro. And he's one of the most prepared people I've taught as well. he'd come to church a few times. He'd come to Mutual a few times. We got to know him because we would go to Mutual as well to be with the youth. And we were talking to my Mutual one day, and this young lady had asked us to invite him to take missionary lessons because she felt like she was too close to him or something, that he would say yes just because of her. So we invited him, and his question was, yeah, of course. Is there a class I can take or something to learn more about you guys? We're like, yes, there is. There's totally a class. We set up to teach him at this family's house. And we go over that day, teach an amazing lesson. We all bear testimony of the Book of Mormon and the truthfulness. And his only question at the end was, do I have to serve a mission? Because I'm already 17 and I don't know if I'll be ready. Baptism was never really a question. He knew it was true right from the start. This young lady had prayed to find someone who would be ready to hear the gospel, and her prayer was answered immensely. This young man has since been baptized. He's committed to serve a mission. He's baptized his brother, and he's continually doing missionary work in his own ward. So it's an incredible experience to be part of things like that. Okay. So shortly after this experience, we got transferred. Me and my companion both actually stayed together and got transferred down to more Centennial, Aurora, Colorado, in the Denver stake. And we go to church for the first time, and I just had this awesome experience with the youth, working with the youth and finding people to teach that way and helping people come into Christ. So I knew that we should work with the youth in this ward. Through the course of events, we meet she's a Laurel, and she brought her boyfriend to church. So we go over all nonchalantly, and we say, hey, how you doing? Introduce ourselves, say, how you liking church? He says, it's fine. He says, I like learning about new religions. That's a great opportunity for us. We're like, that's kind of our job. We'd love to teach you a little more if you'd like to learn. He says, yeah. So we start teaching him. Very first lesson, we start with explaining how the Holy Ghost feels, and promising him that the Holy Ghost will testify to him during the lesson that these things that we say are true. And we tell him, because the Holy Ghost works differently for everyone, I tell him how I felt the Holy Ghost, how I know these things are true. My companion told the same, and I don't recall. So we taught him at his girlfriend's house, but she wasn't actually there. We brought a priest from the ward, and he was there, and he was able to bear testimony as well to how the Holy Ghost feels. We're teaching him, and I think his conversion is a huge example of the Holy Ghost's work, role in our work, because me and my companion, we could not teach together at all. We keep forgetting things, forgetting where scriptures were. We're all over the place, disjointed. At the end, we asked him how he felt. He's like, I know what you're talking about in the beginning now. I know how you feel, because I feel the same way. And we were like just flabbergasted, because we thought we'd never taught more poorly in our entire lives. But he had been able to feel the Holy Ghost and know that this is true because of that. Shortly after we put him on day for baptism. When I left, he wasn't able to be baptized yet because his parents didn't approve, and he wasn't 18 yet. But he was so anxious to be baptized as soon as he could, so he can be part of the church and show his faith. He's another one that I really loved working with, because it increased my faith as I worked with him.